Welcome back to Dum Dum's 2099, where improvisers who've never role-played before journey into a futuristic world of Dungeons & Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Alyn, Honor System, and Declan are trapped in the Hyperloop. Declan used his nano-packs to heal Honor System's broken display panel. Alyn grew even more determined to see their mission through, and they escaped an ambush by locking drones in a tunnel. But can they escape the oncoming Hyperloop train attempting to run them down? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons 2099.
You know, you can say many things, and people do, of Jacinda Bezos, but at least he made the trains run on time. Unfortunately for you, Dum-Dums, that particular skill is on its way to just royally fuck up your day. Having escaped through the tunnels in pursuit of the executives from the viewing party at the executive suites, you found yourself in the tunnel of the Uber Hyperloop, the massive underground transport system that is still in progress of being constructed, but is built enough to go between one station and the Citadel, which for those of you who have the pleasure of living in the fine city of Toronto know all too well, because all of our fucking city councilors insist on building one-stop subway shit. It's like that. It's really expensive. It doesn't go that far, and honestly, it's more of an inconvenience than a treat, but here we are. So this one-stop inconvenience is bearing down on you from down the tunnel. So Declan, you had locked the door behind you as all three of you tumbled out into the loop. To remind you, this is a large circular tunnel that's been bored with sort of clean walls. It's very much one of those like video game drill scenarios where like a thing the exact size that has been bored into the earth is coming towards you. So even at distance, you can tell that the train car takes up the entirety of the Hyperloop, the Uber Hyperloop. It's not like there's like convenient gaps you can squish against. It is perfectly built for specifically this. There's a central track that is crackling with electricity. That seems to be what is powering the train car. You hacked the door, locked it behind you, stopping the drones from pursuing you any further, which is good because they are very heavily armed. You are a ways from the station, though. You can see down the tube, like there's kind of like it does bend, but it's a gentle arc, not a full, like, you know, you're not on like an elbow joint, like elbow macaroni joint where you can't really see anything. Like you can see a ways away the signs of the tunnel opening up, but too far to get to before this train smushes you. So the train is also at distance. It will be on you in approximately 3 rounds. What do you do?
Can I look around for other other potential exits, hatches, maintenance doors, anything like that?
Sure. So I won't make you roll for that because it's a pretty quick scan. Unfortunately, because the Uber Hyperloop is still under construction, this entryway you just came through almost seems like an afterthought, and that was kind of the vibe you got when you were moving through it. There may be other service entrances. If there are, they're not in the immediate line of sight you have. So there might be more kind of back the way the train is coming. There might be more beyond the station, but as far as you can see, this is the only one, which tracks with how much of the build you saw, as well as kind of on some of the schematics you looked at, where this is expected to be built when it's complete.
I think Alyn would, seeing like the electrified central track, would just instinctively hurl a couple of acid arrows at that to try to break the connection and hopefully eliminate the power source. Maybe.
That seems really smart.
Okay. All right. And Declan, what are you doing as Alyn attempts this?
Well, I feel like Declan was looking at the power source to see if he could disable it in a way that could be turned back on. And then just acid started spraying over his shoulder. So,
yeah, fair enough. Great. So So, Laura, I'm going to have you roll an attack with your acid arrows. This isn't
Sure.
to see whether or not you would hit because you're firing at a stationary object at your feet, but rather to see what the effectiveness of the acid arrows is. And sorry, by at your feet, I mean at Declan's feet, for you over Declan's shoulder.
Yeah, I was going to say, Declan right now is saying, all right, so I got 2 ideas that I think could work, and a third one that's kind of stupid. I just need to look at the... What the fuck are you doing? Acid spraying over his shoulder.
I mean, honestly, when in doubt.
Acid arrow. That's the
exactly.
saying.
What? When in doubt, what?
Yeah, Redbubble 2099. That's the only shirt you can get.
All right, I'm gonna make my 2 attacks then.
Please do.
So the first one is 23 to hit, and the second is a big old 10.
10. All right, so one of the 2 will go. We'll say the splash of acid does interfere a little bit. You can see the lights flicker a little bit on the oncoming tram. It slows a little bit, but you get the sense that given the acceleration speed and the deceleration that's occurring now, it's going to be a tight play either way. Like this thing doesn't necessarily have room to make a clean stop. But you did seem to have some effect of it. It does seem that the central rail is important and effectable. You knew it was important, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then Alyn just turns to Declan and says, you had an idea?
Yeah, all right. So it doesn't look like it's terribly well shielded. So I got this EMP grenade that can turn anything off for about 60 seconds, but it might not slow it down. Alyn, can you make a hole in that fucking wall we can climb into to not get hit?
I could try.
All right, let me rephrase. Alyn, make a fucking hole in that fucking wall where we can hide and not die.
So I think is it just stone? Like, is it?
It is moonstone.
Trademark.
Stone on the moon. It's moonstone. It's very important.
I mean, so I'm just trying to think.
Is Alyn saying this aloud, or is this Laura saying it?
This is Laura being indecisive. Alyn is much more confident.
Okay, so this is a slowed down moment inside Alan's brain, like when Data on Star Trek had to think, and they were like, "Oh, he made the decision so fast," but for him, it wasn't eternity.
Yeah, I think it would make sense to just hurl some more acid at the wall. I'm not throwing a fireball this close to us, and that's kind of all I've got.
All right, sounds good. Honor system, would you be assisting with this? And if so, how?
I don't know. Yeah, we're in like it's like a sleek tunnel, right? Like it's seamless, smooth tunnel. There's an exit, but it's too far away where we're going to get run down by this train.
At the current speed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't think my sword can help with anything just right now. So I'm just going to, I think I'll just say out loud, how can I help?
All right, you're with Alyn. I got to see if there's somebody I could shoot in the face.
Yes.
Declan's just going to be seeing if there's a train driver he can shoot on the train.
There's
yes, this is the way.
There's a helpful Star Wars. There's one very specific droid I'm thinking of, who I think is the one voiced by Matt Berry in the Book of Boba Fett, but like kind of long oval head, slim body, and literally I think its hands are, at least in Return of the Jedi, I think its hands are like attached to cranks and levers. So there's just like a conductor bot whose hands are fused to levers, moving levers at the front of the tram. You can see that it's gesticulating vaguely wildly as I am with my Muppet fists towards the screen right now, because with the slight interruption of electrical flow, it doesn't understand. This is not it trams very well, and it does not understand why there's interference with its tramming.
Okay. I think I can maybe help a little bit then. I'm going to say, Declan, would you be able to fire a warning shot first and then a kill shot?
I mean, I can, but then you're going to have to babysit the grenade. And he's just going to take his EMP grenade and give it to System with his normally support hand on the front of the rifle. So the rifle's still up, just hand grenade over. And then he would just like to fire a warning shot next to the driving droid's head.
All right, I'm going to make you roll to attack, only because at this angle and that speed, the odds of the warning shot actually hitting the droid are not 0.
Yeah, but that was his fallback plan. So really, he's just saving 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Or I guess 6 seconds in the world of this.
Roll to miss.
Roll to miss.
Okay, that would normally be a nat 1, but I have inspiration, and this is an inspired moment, so I'm going to use that.
All right. It's your bad pun inspiration from the previous
Bad
session.
pun turns a nat 1 into a 29.
Ooh. I mean,
He took an extra breath to make sure this shot worked out. He was aware the moon's weird, so...
you were about to fire when you didn't have your support, like when you were passing the grenade. It's like, oh, no.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, great. So the shot pings off the say it like blows out the glass, because I'm imagining very much like the front of like a New York subway where there's the one sort of central sort of window where you can see the conductor through, and then there's two side windows on either side of its head. So you blow one of those out, and the droid like quickly snaps its head to that, snaps its head back forward. Its little conductor's cap spinning just slightly ahead of it each time.
I would like to hold Legion up so that it catches the light of the front of the train in this dark tunnel, and just start to gesture ever so slightly to flick to reflect light back at the conductor, and use like binary Morse code to say like warning shot, we will not miss again, stop.
All right. That's very cool. I like that a lot. Okay, here are your options for what you get to roll, Tyler. I'm going to say it's either intimidation, computing, or robotics.
I guess robotics.
Sure.
Nat 20.
Yay! Oh my god, that sigh scared me so much.
Robotics was not that good. It was just the least shitty.
You know, some time ago, when work on the Uber Hyperloop began, and famed gnome robotics engineer McTiffles Bleep Blorp was working on the conductor AI, the question kept coming up, but why? Why would you instill in it a sense of duty and fear? And his answer, as was always the case with robotics, was, "'Cause it makes it more real." So the conductor bot, having read your message in the blink of an eye it takes for you to convey it, you just hear it kind of echoing down the sort of large circular chamber. You just hear like, "Oh shit, people on the tracks. Nope, not today. And just like full body lean back, like someone trying to pull a sail tight by leaning off the side of a boat. Just like full back bend. And immediately you see kind of like clamps just shoot forward and grasp either side of the rail. He's clearly hit the emergency brake. So nothing sexy and technologically advanced. Just literally like two big old rubber bumpers meant to just fucking stop this thing as fast as possible. Immediately, sparks blast off of either side. You can see he's trying to engage the standard brake as well, but it is a smoking, sparking mess. as it continues to drive towards you. Alyn, you've been starting to burn a hole in the wall. The acid doesn't work this quickly because it's yeah. I mean, moonstones. Yeah, they're hardy
so
stones.
much more porous.
I mean,
you're both using moonstones as your argument for the opposite point, which is really funny. Yeah. Moonstones, put moonstones.
Get at us, Moonstone Twitter.
I actually don't know if they're more porous.
I don't either. That's why we're just doing this.
Guessing.
But also keep in mind, this isn't our Earth moon. This is
Then they're more porous.
Moon.
Come on.
A rune moon.
They're more porous, but they're arrow resistant. That's the problem. It's not the acid that's the problem. It's the arrow.
It's the shape of the acid.
If it had been a splash, it would have made a hole right away. But someone shot an arrow.
I mean, you really should have taken that 3rd level spell, Moonstone Melter. It really doesn't come up that often, but man, when you need it.
Light of the stone, protect me.
Mordenkainen's Moonstone Melter.
Honestly, like Juniper would be freaking loving this place.
Light of the moon, protect me. It just shoots up from under and annihilates everyone.
Everyone. Yeah.
It's an inbuilt Zeus cannon. If we can predict Juniper,
it's a reverse Zeus cannon, though.
Yeah, the moon goes nova.
Everything that is not the moon is destroyed. I love it.
This is how the mission goes. Juniper, I mean, she did great. Where's everyone else? Juniper did great.
That's not her name anymore. Now she's Mooniper.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and an essence of her dropped to earth, and lo and behold, it became a new god when it touched a hammer. And so it was born.
Man. I was like,
this is not canon. This is not canon. Don't take this as canon. We're quipping. We're riffing. It's fun. It's not canon. Make that abundantly clear because I don't want to read this shit on the wiki. Anyway, so yes, Alyn, you're using your acid to try and burn a hole in the side as the subway car begins to screech to a halt. Quick eyeballing of how fast this thing is going is that it will likely hit you long before you've made a sweet alcove.
Immediately after there is any kind of indication that the brakes have been applied, honor system like sheathes Legion, grabs Declan by like the back collar where the helmet would affix to, and just starts to like pull him backwards until he can get his own feet under him, and will with his offhand like grab Alyn by the waist and just running down the tracks holding his friends.
Great. So give me please an athletics to hoist your buds and run. I won't give you any disadvantage on that because you're a robot.
Okay. I rolled a 4, so I'm going to use my inspiration that I got a couple sessions ago, so I don't drop a friend on the rail or something like that. Well, we'll use the 4.
Oh dear.
So that's a total of 11.
11. All right.
Strong,
so
but
you grab them and start pulling them, but it is not going well. It is not going fast. And the train is rapidly approaching. Now the good news is because it's no longer going at speed, it won't just instant pulp you the way it would have previously. Mm-hmm. But if you do get hit, it is going to hurt like a real son of a bitch.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, start running.
Yeah.
Please start running.
I feel like sensing like honor system struggling to carry us. I'd like to, if I can, use a bonus action to Misty Step 30 feet ahead, so he doesn't have to carry me as well.
Yeah, great. So as system is pulling you, suddenly, system, your arm comes free. As Alyn, you just like fall forward and like in Portal, you just drop from the ceiling 30 feet away, and kind of land into a stumble scramble. Declan, I'm gonna need an athletics from you, sir.
So I'll also use a bonus action, but let's see what happens with athletics. Or would you accept reflexes?
It's gonna be an athletic because it's not a save; it's just a check.
Cool.
But if you did have a bonus action thing you wanted to do, please feel free to use that.
It's a dash. I would like to use my bonus action to dash. My athletics check is a dirty 20.
Okay, great. So it sounds like you're off to the races then. So basically,
I let him go. He can run. Yeah.
Double dash Declan.
Great. So he's going honor system. I'm going to need one more from you to see how you fare now that you're no longer dragging people.
This is athletics.
Yeah.
Again. All right, that's total of 11.
11. Okay.
Oh,
So you're lagging
buddy.
behind a bit, but you're not as fucked as you would have been when you were trying to drag 2 people with an 11. 11 just means you're not running at full speed. I think maybe the electricity from the central track is just like interfering with your very badly shielded internal electronics now. Like
Sure.
you've been patched up a few times, but you're not running literally or figuratively at 100%. All right. So the train is right behind you. You can see the station kind of up ahead as you sprint toward it.
Emergency vehicles are heading our way.
I can hear that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can hear that.
Nothing we
Give
can
that
do
a
about
second.
it. That's fine.
That's the sound that the droid is making driving the train. Just every police officer in Toronto is on the scene. The train is almost upon you. Up ahead is the station. You're getting closer. It's going to be tight, but given that the train has its brakes active, it is slowing down. It's that classic, like you guys sprinting as it screeches through the tunnel behind you. And up ahead, the tunnel opens up into a platform. So very much like a 2-platform station or anything else. It's not, a full, like, bustling large station. It is really just as I punch my fucking mic, it is just an underground platform that will clearly lead up and into stuff, but much more industrial. Not unlike the opening of Half-Life. So you're booking it towards the station when a hail of laser fire erupts from it. So I'm going to need reflex saves, please.
Oh, come on.
The remaining centuries open fire.
Ooh, that's a 4.
13 for Declan.
Gene?
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Okay.
I had my 120 for the game, obviously, or the rest of my life. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, so it's going to be 11 points of damage, Alyn and Honor System.
Oof.
You hear someone just yelling, I got one! I got one! And someone says, shut up, Tenderus! And you can see there are two sort of mid-level execs, because you iced the low-level execs.
Oh, they're execs?
Yeah, like with rifles, just like laying down as snipers on the lip of the platform. Clearly drew short straws to stay back and try and hold you off.
Really
So they
pisses
aren't,
Alyn off.
to be clear, they're not really aiming. They're not targeting you. They're aiming in the general vicinity of you. Hence the saves rather than AC. Essentially the equivalent of a low-level trap at this point. So laser fire ahead of you, train coming in behind you. If you basically the option or the choice that presents itself is you can slow down to try and deal with the laser fire, thus disabling that in the next round, but having to roll very well to get away from the train, or you can keep running into the laser fire, take another round of that, but avoid train business. Either way, you're rolling
How many of
some
them are
saves.
there?
There are 2.
There's just 2?
Yeah.
And they're within 150 feet, right?
Yeah.
So I can blast off a quick fireball at them and then run?
Yep, it will make your
Nice.
running slightly more
Yeah.
difficult, but yes,
That's
you can.
option A, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get to escape the running being harder by crafty use of spell. He laid out
No,
the
I
rules
know.
pretty cleanly.
I'll take option B, though. Just statistically how I'm rolling, I got to keep running.
Yeah, Declan's also going to be team run. He can take another hit from these fucking wieners.
All right, so Alyn, you throw a fireball at them?
Yes, I do.
Okay. They are both prone.
It was me being scared.
In one
Alan
of
is
the
not scared.
power-flowing
Laura's
stream.
very
One of-
scared.
One of the greatest cases of overkill in the history of the moon. A fully charged fireball on 2 executives trying to shoot rifles. I love
Look,
it.
Alan has
don't hate
limited access to her spells. She hasn't quite figured out the weave here.
I'm not mad about it. This is great.
Again, not a note, just celebrating this intense overkill that these executives definitely deserve.
Well, speaking of, so I rolled for disadvantage with them because they were both laying prone. To get out of the way. One got an 18 and a 1, and the other got a 20 and a 4. So that's a crit fail on one of them and a would-be critical success. This guy used to do burpees all the time, so he's just like, aha, I will leap up and run away. But he's old now, so he's slower at it. His body hurts the way mine does when I wake up and try and get out of bed in the morning. So neither of them managed to get up. One of them probably shoots himself in the knee. What happens?
Shall I roll?
Yeah, let's roll.
Oh, that's pretty good. 6, 12, 14.
That is good.
14, 16, 22. Plus 8 is 30.
Flat.
So that's 30 damage. I only attacked once. That's 30 fire damage plus 2 acid damage.
Oh man, thank God for that too. No, to Ryan's point, they are blown away like they're Sarah Connor in that flashback, just like full on, like bodies ripped to shreds off of their bones, leaving just two like scorched, vaguely mid-level exec shaped scorch marks on the edge of the platform, and the laser fire suddenly ceases. So for those of you who didn't just throw a fireball, go ahead with your athletics one more time, please.
That's better. 26.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 9.
A 9? Okay. So then, Ryan, I'm going to need a reflex save from you, please.
That is an 11.
11? Okay. And Alyn, I need athletics from you with disadvantage, please.
Oh, no.
And I got that bonus action dash I defo want. So let me know if that'll pay off, Tommy.
Okay, fine. You can just have that. Get out of here. Fucking
Yay.
rogue nonsense.
So I got a 4, but also a 1.
So how about that bonus action Misty Step, huh? Does that work too?
Cool. All right. So, Declan, you can use
Yeah,
your...
I Misty Step again.
Declan, you can absolutely use your bonus to dash. So that'll negate both of these things. You're getting a bit tripped up, but you managed to get out and ahead. Alyn, you throw the fireball, you take off running, but again, you're just Michelin Manning in this giant suit, and even as it screeches to a halt, the train will catch you.
Fuck. Oh, God.
So that's going to be 25 points of damage as it slams into your back, and you fully just, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like arms out, legs out, as this thing, again, coming to a halt, but enough that you still get, feel the impact. As it screeches into the station and throws you forward off of it. You kind of bounce off the electrical bar in the center, and your suit is ruined. It is a smoking, torn mess. You will no longer be able to do exo shit with it.
At least it can't hold you back anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, Alyn is just like on the track still and just like crawls, like grabs onto whatever she can on the wall, is just like tearing the rest of the stupid suit off her, just like trying to steady herself because she probably got a concussion or something from that hit.
Honor system is there. He's helping Alyn up.
She's pretty rough.
Declan is getting into the cockpit of the train and plugging in.
Yeah, the conductor bot is just like, oh no, I tried to stop. You all saw it. She wouldn't get out of the way. I tried. Oh no. Please contact Union 01111023. I need a rep.
Yep, I'm the rep. I'm here to help. I just need access to your jack-in port, and then he just plugs into the.
You're
box.
not Trevor, and then immediately like his eyes roll back up, like digital eyes roll back up, and his little cap, which you can see is like screwed on loosely, just starts spinning around in circles, like an adorable old timey top.
Is there first aid on the train?
Yes, climbing aboard. There is a first aid cabinet in the conductor stall. Beyond this, it really is just like a people mover. So beyond this kind of little booth, but similar to an airplane, sort of like small flight attendant station. There's like an emergency first aid kit, defib paddles. There's like a fully stocked bar. The robot can't enjoy it, but like other people possibly could. And then beyond it, completely empty, sort of a 2-segment passenger vehicle, long benches that are like with backs, so like nice-ish seats, and everything you'd expect, like luggage storage, and vid screens that are currently showing the primer hood launch sequence. And they're now at the boring part of all space stuff, where you're just following an object through space, and it's like, okay, well, we did the explosive launch thing, that's exciting, the landing's going to be exciting. Now we're just watching a box with numbers follow an image slowly moving across a black background. But there's still ongoing analysis from Amazon employees who are doing all the usual space talk and like interviewing primer hood engineers about how much more efficient the world is going to become. So you can hear that echoing throughout the car.
Okay, awesome. I'm System is snatching first aid kit off like the wall, like where it's they're kind of like mounted on the wall of the train or whatever, and ready and preparing to administer aid to Alyn.
Great. So we're gonna call this the nano-packs that you were rolling earlier were what dice? Did I tell you?
The nano-packs that I had were 1d4 plus 2.
1d4 plus 2. Okay, so these are of a much higher quality. So we're going to say it's a d10 plus 2. But there's only the one.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to roll that, Laura, or do you want to roll it for your own HP?
Well, given how you've been rolling, Tyler.
That's a great point. Do you want to...
Ryan, why don't you roll it? Because I've also been rolling shit.
All right, let's find out. 7.
Great.
Well,
above average.
that's something.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
Great. So you're able to administer some first aid. Again, the kit is meant to really deal with like a single injury, not someone getting hit by a train. But live and learn. And Declan, you are hacking in. So why don't you go ahead and roll a hacking check, please?
Great. Nat 1.
Cool.
Jesus fuck.
As
you guys needed me to roll that fucking health check.
What happened to us? You know what I mean? Think about one episode ago. Fucking rock stars just skipping on down that tunnel. No problem.
I think our roles are related to the stock market.
Babies pooping in our diapers just on this whole adventure now. We went from the boss baby to just a stupid baby.
And look, I know from Stupid Baby, and yeah, this is a poopy diaper scenario. Yeah, so Declan, you go to you plug your hacking device in, and unfortunately, there's a power surge from the train just being stationary with its brakes employed on the like sort of current rail, and as a result, there's a power surge that goes through, and unfortunately, will fry your hacking device. That isn't to say you can't repair it with supplies you find. Like if you can find somewhere that actually has like any amount of machine shoppery, you could probably fix it. But going to be difficult. I mean, who knows? You can make an argument for how you would repair it on the fly, but for now, it's a tablet that's been plugged into too high a power source and has been fried.
Say what you will about Jeff Cinda Bezos, but he always makes your trains blow your fucking shit up.
Yeah, that's actually above the station in swirling, like eat, pray, love, live, laugh, love.
Yep.
So he'll just, I guess he wants to look around. What he's looking for then, because he has to go physical. If he can't deal with software, he has to deal with hardware. Which is there like the equivalent of the Wi-Fi or the thing that allows outside control of train? He just wants to get rid of the ability of somebody outside to say, I don't know, crank this to max speed and drive it into a wall. You know, like he just wants to remove the outside world from the equation.
Okay, yeah. So can I get then from you a mechanics? I think seems about right. I'd also take an engineering. Like either of those would be appropriate for getting in. And
I have a 15.
15? Okay, great. Yeah. So you're able to, I think, find like again, these things are made. They're all Amazon basics, right? Everything here is kind of built to the lowest common denominator. Admittedly, Iluna Musk's tech is kind of at play here, but really it had to be built with Amazon tech. So there's a very clear like N64 GoldenEye sized like big box with like a Wi-Fi symbol on it that you're able to crack open. And yeah, I think just with a quick smashy, it interferes with that. And honestly, that's why there's a conductor. Theoretically, the conductor can just take control of the train now. But they weren't expecting robotic conductors to be convinced by an extraordinarily eloquent binary to turncoat. So, the conductor turns to you and says, "Thank you, sir. I now have the helm. I assume." And like his like little, and again, I'm really thinking of these as like, you know, those like shitty LCD displays that are just like almost like a digital clock, where it's just like when he moves his eyes, it's literally like the light can go to any of the pixels, but it can't really do anything. Like it's not that animated. So just those like little lights like shift left and shift right, like a bad Tamagotchi, like just kind of like deet, 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 deet. And he says, am I correct in assuming that you would not want this train going anywhere near you or your compatriots again?
You're very correct. I'd like us to remain alive at all times. The other thing I'd like you to do is to take us to the central hub of this whole business, of this whole moon stellation. Get us to the middle, wherever the biggest building is. This is a one-way bullet train to Fucktown now.
I understand. So we are going to Citadel Station.
Yes. Maybe we'll stop one before, maybe one after, but that's the direction, yes.
1 track bullet train 2, let's go. And it like just jams the levers forward, and just immediately like you can feel the sort of like pressure pad brakes come off. Everything kind of like, you hear those like big engines just like immediately the train like shoots forward. You're all pulled back in, you know, classic, you know, actors acting about Speedway, as air rushes through the blown open windows, and the train moves forward 1 meter, and then he presses a button, and immediately as all the engines shut down and the train pulls to a stop, and he just says, Citadel Station, we did it.
All right,
there are only 2 stations. I am sorry if this was not clear.
Okay, no, it wasn't clear, but it's good to know. Okay, new orders for you then. We're going to get the fuck off right here.
Okay.
And then there's a hatch back there that I locked shut. I would like you to back this train up until you block that hatch shut. Then just park and wait, and I won't shoot you.
This sounds like a great deal to me. I will back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
God.
Because you have taught me good.
Yep, there it is.
All right, I don't get that
What?
reference, but I like you a great deal. So have a nice time. You're a good conductor. We're going to get off the train. I'll give you a thumbs up, then just go park in front of that hatch.
Thank you. That is the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Enjoy your stay at Citadel Station. And with that, his head just like turns fully around, and then the hat, of course, follows a moment later. And just behind him, he starts cranking levers again. You hear the engine spin up, and the train just begins slowly sliding away back into the darkness, which is good because you can hear the sound of like echoing metallic blasts as clearly the drones try and work through that hatch. Unfortunately, that one is a more heavy duty thing because if it blew, it would be bad. And the train slides flush in front of it, blocking off. Of course, the train doesn't have. It has side doors, but it also has very thick metal. So it is kind of like driving an additional wall in front of the door. And though it's far away, obscured again by kind of the angle of the tunnel and just the distance, you're pretty sure you hear the train horn just go like just echoing down the tunnel.
I don't
it is
get
the song of a train friend.
Do you get it, System? Do you know what that is?
That was the song Shave and a Haircut, 2 bits.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Normally,
Never heard it. Sounds dumb.
the first half is played by one party and the second half is played by another party, and there's some sort of bonding over that. But he just played the entire song.
I guess his train is bonding with that hatch. All right, well,
That feels generous, but I think we should leave regardless.
yeah, I think it's time for us to go upstairs and kill some rich people. But let me say to you what apparently will bond us together. Whoomp, 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 whoomp. Whoomp,
Our
whoomp.
system extends a hand and says, whoomp, whoomp.
Oh, that's the stopping part. I didn't know where that was. Alyn, do you have any whoops you want to add?
Whoomp whoomp. What? Can we just get to an executive or something that we have to kill and I can like heal?
You could fireball him again.
Yes.
That was fucking
No, I'd
metal.
really like to just like drain the life out of someone.
Ah,
I've seen it before. I never thought I'd see it again. Not sure how I feel about it, but let's fucking do this. And he'll just start like leading the team in a very special forces style up the stairs. And Declan will reach back and say, I'll take that grenade. I feel like that's more a me thing than a you thing there, System.
yes, here you are. And take these. And I'm going to hand you 2 flash grenades and a smoke grenade that I was carrying.
Oh my God.
Let's
It's
delete those
like-
from my inventory.
It's like fucking Christmas.
Amazing. So, having re-equipped Declan, having slightly healed up Alyn, having made a train friend, and having blocked off the most immediate kind of threat trailing you, you make your way up onto the platform. So you kind of like you're able to just step off onto it. There, of course, the massive charred blast mark of Alyn's fireball, and you can see posters on the walls that Declan turned your blood to furious ice, but also that honor system enrage you, which is still a very surprising
That's new.
thing.
Seems I'm filled with rage.
They are images of workers happily working and not questioning anything, and like join your local robot union, a subsidiary of Amazon Industries, and just all sorts of things that are clearly putting the business ahead of its workers. They clearly have an in-house union that this robot belongs to. There's just like, you can see a hint of the kind of propaganda that is no doubt well installed in these primer hoods. And though the conglomerata was a mess with all of these competing corporations and the wars they made you fight on their behalf for sport, for status, just for the hell of it, Bezos is trying to birth an entirely new shitty system, one that draws on some of the most exploitative practices of the conglomerata, but with a lot of the pomp and circumstance stripped away. Weirdly, it's the old monopoly problem. And at least in the conglomerata, sometimes people would get a better deal because they were competing for talent. Here, there is only one company. It's monolithic, and as a result, you either sign up or your entire city gets crushed by a space primer hood. You know the stakes are high. You know you got to do this. But there's something about the casual and kind of alarmingly forward thinking. Like, this propaganda machine is in full display here. And this is what will remain for your sun honor system. And Declan, just for people you haven't met but kind of vaguely care about back on your home world. And Alyn, there is music to your ears in this small platform, because echoing from up the stairs, you can hear general chatter, a general kerfuffle, occasional clinking of glasses, and someone being like, I bet Tendrus got him with the first shot. I'll say that action. Alyn, the music you hear is the sweet, sweet sound of executive assholes. And what can I say? Your vampiric fingers begin to tingle with anticipation.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons 2099 features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra. The system we're playing is Carbon 2185, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are Core Collapse and Sanctuary of the Sky Gods by Nathaniel Yaverne, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Now I'm off to do future things before we return for the next episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons 2099. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. The Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Sammy Boy, Orion Birchfield, Scott Garland, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Acrix, Grandma Likes D&D, Alyn, Austin Nut Powers Fry, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Roman Brown, Shulzari, Christian Mendez, Spot Allen, Flynn 1138, Alarain Okapi, OMG It's Big Nick, Steve Wees, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.